Hello, this is Foog, this is Vintage Story, and welcome to another video. I am so happy I made this bow. Taking out that moose was great, but I did have other plans. What was I gonna do? We're gonna just get right back into it. I just recorded the intros and outros for the other two episodes that I missed because of my long recording session. And I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that again. I might just sort of record and sort of say hello at the beginning of the recording session and say goodbye at the end. And if I have to cut it into multiple videos, then that's just how it's going to be. But we'll see. So what am I doing? I'm going to be making charcoal. I'm going to be cooking some meals, and I'm going to be trying to enter the Copper Age. Those are my three main goals today. So let me put my hood back on. These are still going. These pit kilns. I need more sticks to fire these, but we're going to focus on making some meals at the moment. And the gear for that is in these pit kilns, so I got to wait for that. In the meantime, let's dig some space for charcoal. Let's put away these vegetables also. And I have so much meat. I have so much meat. I really hope those pit kilns will be done in time for me to cook this meat. And I should probably try to hunt another animal so that and I need more reeds. I want to get more of these baskets. I have so much to do. So much to do. Okay. So first of all, let's use Pete to cook, and let's just cook this chicken up because I'm not going to be able to make a meal out of it if it's only one piece of chicken. Gotta get the torch out of the offhand to be able to light the fire. There's a pig. Let's do some hunting. The main thing I'm looking for here is some lumps of fat. Yeah, there we go. Oh, these animals give me so much food because of my hunter class. They give me so much meat, which is really a good thing. I mean, I'd rather have too much than not enough, that's for sure. But it is a little disappointing having things go bad and spoil. And I want to make a door because, well, I need a proper door. I need like a real door. I can't just make a crude. I could make a crude door and that would keep monsters out, which is probably the reason I would want it. But to make this into a cellar, I have to actually fully close it off with either blocks or a real door. A crude door doesn't work. So let's eat that chicken and get rid of these seeds in my inventory. Check on the farm. Nothing is fully grown by now, except the cattails apparently. Oh, wait, no. Those are my cattails over there. Yeah, this stuff takes a really, really long time to grow. There's different growth stages. It shows you up in the top stats in the info. Some of them only have 7 growth stages. Some of them have 9. Some of them only have 5. But they all take a really long time, even at 97% growth speed. The nutrient levels are all fully balanced in this soil. Okay, well, let's dig out a couple more. Or some onions. And, okay. I would really like more reeds, or more baskets. I don't think there's enough here to make another basket, or maybe just to make one more. We'll see. I need 2 more to make a basket. There's a couple over here. Oh! Yeah, here we go. was my knife. All right. It's getting dark anyway. Let's go home. Pit kilns are still going. Okay. I can't wait to make a copper knife. I want to dig this entrance to this cave out a little bit and make sort of a flat area here in the front. And I can put a roof over this and protect it from the rain, and this can be my forging area where I put all of my forging tools, my forge itself and my anvil. I'll keep a fire over here and have my crucibles, my ingot molds, all of my molds. Now, from what I remember, drifters spawn in this cave sometimes. Those monsters, those hunchback monsters that come at us in the night, they'll sometimes spawn in this cave, but that's okay. I can take drifters on. Just get a little bit annoying, but it is an infinite source of twine. As far as I know, well, the only thing they've dropped for me so far is fibers to make twine. And to make the roofing blocks that I'm going to use, I'm going to need a lot of dry grass. So, and I need to clear out this area a little more anyway, so that the grass doesn't catch on fire next to these pit kilns. And because I'm about to dig out this charcoal pit. And all of that took out almost my entire knife. This is why I cannot wait to get a copper knife. Okay, so we're just gonna make... That's a little close, actually. Put this over here. I don't think the charcoal pit needs to be covered. I don't think it'll go out in the rain, because it's covered by dirt. This is gonna be a charcoal mound, similar to charcoal mounds that you may have seen in like documentaries or things like that, where basically somebody has to sit out in the forest staying awake for hours at a time, days at a time, watching over this charcoal pit to make sure that it doesn't catch on fire. They bury a whole bunch of wood in the ground, bury it under some dirt with some specific like vent holes, and they have to watch it to make sure that it doesn't like fully catch on fire and just light a blaze and light the whole forest on fire. In this game, it's a little bit simpler than that. So the pit is dug, and now I've got to fill this with firewood. But first, we're gonna go ahead and sleep. One day before monsters begin to appear. Got one day. Alright. These oiled hides are still oiled hides. Once they turn into pelts, I can pick them up. It's still early in the morning. It's really interesting how in this game you don't sleep through the whole night. You don't just sleep until morning, you actually sleep for a specific amount of time unless you intentionally wake up partway through. And the amount of time you can sleep depends on the type of bed that you're sleeping in. When I upgrade the bed, I'm going to be able to sleep 8.5 hours instead of just 7. Okay, so I've got a lot of dry grass here. I'm going to make some veils out of it, sort of just for storage. And oh yeah, I should make another one of these. I'm gonna have to clay form some storage vessels as well. So much to do, so much to do. I need at least a couple of storage vessels. It looks like my pit kilns are done as well. So, okay, priority number 1 right now is to make sure that meat doesn't spoil before I can use it. So we're gonna grab these. Gonna grab the crocs as well. Oh, oops. I guess those don't stack. It's alright. I'm gonna stick the crocs on the ground here. I'm gonna stick one of the cooking pots in there. Just leave the other off to the side. That's my knife again. Let's put this shovel down. I don't need it right now. And crocs. Okay, I have only 2 lumps of fat. I would like a little bit more, but I might have to kill another animal for that. Okay, so here's how meals are made. First, I need my ingredients. So I already have plenty of meat in my inventory. Plenty of meat. I'm going to use this stuff first. I'm going to split it in half. That's actually not going to all fit, so I'm going to split it in half again. I think I can fit 4 servings. So 4 meat and 4 meat. And we're going to need 8 vegetable or a grain. Actually, I can just make the meat. I can just make the meat into a hearty meat stew, and that's actually gonna last a really long time. So I put my 4 meat, my other 4 meat. It says here it will create 4 servings of red meat stew. And if I add even more meat, it has to be the same amount of meat in every slot. It has to be the same amount of ingredients, no matter what they are, in every slot. Okay, 4 servings of hefty red meat stew. And now I can just light it, and the pot will start bubbling. Oh, it needs fuel. And once it gets up to temperature, it's going to start cooking. See, the temperature is right here in the middle on this arrow. The temperature of the fire is down at the bottom, and it's going to rise up to about 900 because that's the temperature that peat burns at. And it needs to be at least 150 to cook the meat. Once it reaches 150, it starts to cook. Now the pot, I think this center here is the temperature of the pot, and it's not really going to go above 200. It's going to stay there, but the fire is even hotter, and it's still getting hotter. Firewood burns at a lower temperature, 700 rather than 900. I'm not gonna use this firewood to make charcoal. I'm gonna keep this here in case I need to make more campfires, because I can't make them without actual firewood. I can't just use peat to construct them for whatever reason. That's okay. Ow. The other thing I want to do is check around and see if there's some vegetables. Well, really what I need is vegetables, because I have plenty of grains right now. There's some turnips over here. Some peat close by, that's nice. I could go up here and check in this sort of area. By the way, I apologize if the jitters are still happening. It's very uncomfortable to watch in my editing software, so I can't imagine, how it is to watch on even a larger screen. But yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I've tried different inventory menu schemes. I've tried showing my cursor to OBS. I've tried not showing my cursor to OBS. I don't know. I think it's just something going on with the code in the game, maybe. I'm not a very tech literate person, so if anybody knows what's going on with these jitters and can give me some advice on how to make it stop, I would appreciate it. I'm using OBS to record, if that helps. I'm recording at 1080p and downscaling to 720 just to save a lot of storage space, because I'm doing all of this on a very cheap laptop. Ooh, a moose. I'm doing this on a very cheap laptop that I got refurbished from Newegg. I'm actually amazed that this game runs so well on the hardware I have, but it's not the worst laptop ever for gaming. I got it specifically because it could run games like this. And if you're wondering about my audio as well, why my audio is so crappy, it's because I'm using a half-broken pair of earbuds that has one of those little mics on the controller. I will get something better, but the reason I have all of this stuff is because I'm super broke, I cannot afford anything better at the moment. I've been unemployed for a really long time, and I worked for a really long time, and I ended up spending all my money on rent and stuff like that, and ended up homeless. I live in my car, and I record on this refurbished laptop, just, in the driver's seat of my car with a little wooden piece of wood that I made into a desk. So I'm in a struggle right now, and that's kind of why I've started this gaming channel because I'm hoping to, earn at least a little bit of money off of this. I don't need enough money to make rent. I just need enough money to upgrade my vehicle a little bit, maybe purchase a van and refurbish the inside so that it has things like a kitchen and a shower. And this is something that I can do and that I've been trying to do for a long time, but I just haven't been able to make enough money for it. Oh no, wolves. Are you serious? I hope they're over here. I hope they're far away from me. But anyway, I'm just letting you guys know like what the situation is and why my audio is so crappy. I'm hoping to get, at least a headset that has like nice over-ear sound and a mic that is going to sound better than this one. But for the moment, we're just going to have to deal with this. And, if you want to help me out with this, you just keep watching my videos and like and sub and leave a comment. And that alone will help me build this sort of YouTube business that I'm trying to do. It will help me make a little bit of money in the future, hopefully. So, I mean, thank you for bearing with me because I know that this isn't exactly the most professional setup in the world, but I'm trying to be authentic here. And this is what I have, this is my situation, and this is how I'm trying to get out of it. So, yeah, I appreciate you for sticking with me and for bearing with me through any technical issues. And anyway, let's get back to it. So, the food is done, and I've got this crock so I can pick. Ooh, I can pick the food up out of the cooking pot into the crock, and now I've got my 4 servings of hefty red meat stew. And it says perishable. It's not gonna tell me how long it'll last just yet. I don't know. It might just last too long to show me. I don't know. It's not showing me how long it's gonna. It just says perishable. But if I can take a lump of fat here, now so it goes from perishable to perishable and sealed. So this is gonna last longer. And you can see the crock now has a little symbol on it indicating that there's food inside. And I can grab the food from the crock into a bowl. Put the other bowls on the ground here and eat this hearty stew. Check out how much that gives me. That just filled my hunger bar from halfway to full. So I will keep the cooked meat on me just because that's not gonna last as long, and if I'm down to like just a little bit of hunger down, I can eat this. Now, if I only have a tiny bit of hunger missing and I eat from the bowl, it's not gonna take a full serving. You see it now says 0.6 servings, so I almost ate that full serving that was in the bowl. Well, no, actually I ate 0.4 of the serving that was in the bowl, so less than half of it. So I guess 1 serving is probably enough to completely fill up my hunger bar. But it'll eat just enough to fill it up, and no more, no less. Unless there's not enough in the bowl for that. Okay, I kind of want to go hunt this moose because I'm feeling pretty confident, and I want more fat. And I'm gonna go that direction anyway to look for some vegetables. So, should I make some more arrows? I only have 3 feathers. Well, let's place this reed chest down somewhere. Where am I gonna put this? I don't like putting them in random places because with the inventory space being so limited, it's not super easy to move things around. But since this is gonna be my forging and smelting area, I guess I will I'll put it here, and I'll leave the clay in here. I'll leave clay and like rocks and dirt and stuff in here. And this These hay bales are what I'm going to use to make the roofing for this area. Okay, so I want to make more meals. I want to make more. So I'm going to hunt that moose for more fat and meat, I guess. Really, I don't want to be making hefty meats too. It is really good, but it's not going to meet all of my nutritional needs. The protein has gone way up, but I still need vegetables and grain. Dairy is going to come later. I still need vegetables and grain, and I think I can make soup with berries too. So berries are a good soup filler if I don't have enough like vegetables. Okay. Let me grab my other two spears before I go here. I might want to throw some spears at this guy. This is the moose that was up on that hill in the previous episode. Is this a male moose? Oh, there's a boar there too. That's good. Are you going to attack me if I come up to you? Oh, yes, you will. This is a male moose. Okay. Yep, that's what I wanted to avoid. That was half of my health, and I don't have any more arrows. I missed all of them because the moose cleverly ran in a little circle. Fusing and disorienting me. Alright. Look at that, 12 meat. I don't need all of that. I really, really don't need all this meat. Fresh for 5 days. Large raw hides. See, I would like to collect these hides, but I need to make a copper saw so I can turn logs into boards, which I can then use to make barrels to make leather. And leather making is the next mechanic that I want to explore besides prospecting. Whoa. Look at this weird tree. Huh. You know, I really like how the trees generate in this game too, even the weird ones, because, you know, sometimes trees are weird. Sometimes trees are weird in real life. Sometimes they be like that. And all of these trees look, you know, quite realistic. Okay. So I'm looking for vegetables. There's probably going to be some around here. Maybe also chickens would be nice. I don't want to go too far in here because I did hear wolves earlier. And there is a chance that there's wolves. I need to listen out for barks and whines and howls. Then again, I'm not hearing it over here anymore, which means that they might actually be like over here. Or over here. Or even over here. I heard them when I was at my base, and once again, I am using a half-broken pair of earbuds, so I can't hear anything in my right ear. I do have directional audio turned on, but it helps a little bit. It helps a little bit because at least I can sort of turn my head. It's just like I'm deaf in my right ear, you know, that kind of thing. While I'm in my settings, let me turn the immersive mouse mode back on, since apparently that doesn't actually affect onions. This is exactly what I was looking for, but none of them are ready. But apparently the type of inventory I'm using doesn't actually affect the jitteriness. Alright, what is this? Spelt. So there are... Oh, spelt is the same color as onions. There are supposedly some turnips just to the south over here. Oh yeah, next to the peat. That's right. I don't think they're going to be ready yet. Just a little tiny bit of turnips. Come on, I just need some vegetables to put with this meat. Oh, here we go. No, I don't think grain, well, maybe I can. Maybe I can make like a meat porridge or something. I know I can put grain with vegetables. I can put meat with vegetables. I can put meat with meat. I can put grain with grain. I don't know. This is gonna go bad. 5 meat going bad in 10 hours. I would really like to use it, but just might not be possible. Turnip. Let's get up on this hill. Oh yeah. It's interesting. The moon and the sun are out at the same time. They're right next to each other. You can see they're kind of moving in the same direction too. I'm pretty sure this game has like actual astronomy. Like the sun doesn't just go straight down, neither does the moon. They're actually sort of moving at a diagonal in this direction. And this the sun will actually produce like a realistic analemma as the seasons change. It'll change position in the sky and its arc will change position. So if I were to come here every day and take a picture of the sun at the same time, in different seasons, it would sort of go back and forth, just like in real life. I'm not actually sure if any of what I just said is true. All I know is that the sun does actually set at an angle, and I don't know why it wouldn't, move with the seasons. This game is pretty good about stuff like that. Let me Google it, actually. I'm gonna look it up right now and see if Vintage Story astronomy. Yeah, so it is true. It is true. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's the catchphrase for this game, isn't it? Just like in real life. I think those wolves are to my right. So kind of where I thought they were originally, which is a good thing. Okay, so I've got my vegetables. Let's get another meal cooking really quick. Ooh. I gotta cover these holes up at some point. Okay. So I've changed my inventory steering, or my menu scheme. Now I'm using the immersive mouse mode again. And you can see in the inventory, I have full control of my camera. When I hold Alt, it frees up my cursor, which is probably causing jitters for you right now. But unfortunately, I'm not sure there's anything I can really do about that. And now I can make some red meat with turnip, which is going to be really good. Mm. 7 hours, 1 day. Okay. You know what? Let's really quick. Let's clay form a crock. And I need to get sticks too. I need to get wood. Let's clay form, not a crock, a storage vessel. You know what? It's almost 5. I spent a lot of time out there doing stuff. Let's make another axe because this one's gonna break if I try to chop. That's a shovel. I don't think you can actually like undo this once it's on the ground and you picked your tool. You just gotta make it. So. Alright, we're making a shovel. And I guess I could throw this away, but it's a waste of flint. Alright, let's make an axe head, like I wanted to. Yeah, I really do enjoy this immersive thing, how the menu sort of floats above it, and I can hold Alt to release my mouse, and, it's about to be finished. There it is. Okay, let's make this axe. That's the shovel. Let's make the axe. I should put these spears down since I'm not hunting right now. And I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna grab another crock and seal up another crock of food. Nice. Now I can make a whole lot more hearty meat stew. But what do I want to make here? I could put some grain in there too. I could make a porridge. Yeah. Let's use up these turnips. And let's make some porridge. 2 and 2. I think I have enough for... Oh, I have enough for 3. 3 servings. Rye porridge with mashed onion. That sounds Delicious. Some spelt grain. There's some berries for you. Those berries aren't gonna last. Let's just bring them. Let's just eat them now. Ooh, there's a rift over there. Now, I haven't talked much about like the rift activity and what that means. Rift activity, it's very high right now, and it means that these rifts are going to be spawning more. These rifts, if you go near them, you start to go crazy. And ooh, you can see the oh God, it's so loud. You can see the gear in the bottom above my hot bars now. When I get close to it, it starts to spin and things start to get kind of weird. Ooh, yeah, things start to get really weird when I walk through that thing. When I get out of it, the gear starts to spin to the right again, which means it's refilling. And I need to chop down this tree. I need to chop down a tree. Hopefully it gives me sticks too, because I really need sticks for those pit kilns. All right, let's get chopping. Pine seed plant. There's flax right here. And I think turnips was that? Is this turnips? Yes. I really, really like having these like, random plants and vegetables sort of just growing out here. It's neat. It adds life to the world. And it gives you a reason to sort of leave your base. Whereas like in Minecraft, which this game does get compared to Minecraft a lot for obvious reasons, but in Minecraft, once you settle down somewhere, you go out for ores and to explore different places and try to find the stronghold and whatever, but once you've got your farm down, there's not much reason to leave. But actually, food in this game is a big challenge, and where you settle down can depend a lot on, like, if there's vegetables nearby, if there's wild vegetables growing nearby, because you're going to be depending on, like, wild foods and hunting a whole lot. You can't even breed animals just yet. I mean, animal breeding is a thing later on, but I am so not ready for that. It's going to take a while before I'm ready for that. What was that? What did I just hear? What the fuck? What was that? Is there like an animal? What is that? I think that's an animal right there. Oh, there's another one over there. I hope that's a pig and not a moose or a wolf. There's a pig. Oh, I don't know. That looks bigger than a pig. Oh no. All right. Well, it's not even late enough to sleep yet. Oh, there's rifts all over the place. It's high. It's very high rift activity all of a sudden. It'll go away. These things sort of come through like the weather does. Okay, let's seal another crock. Get that porridge in there. And I'll go ahead and put the sealed crocks over in this corner. Actually, I need to seal this one. Okay. Now we've got hefty red meat stew. That's the first one we cooked. It's fresh for 45 days. And with the turnips, it's fresh for 51. And it'll eventually show me how long the porridge will be fresh for. Porridge is going to be good. I'll get some grains and veggies in me. Right now I'm working on fruits and proteins. So grains and veggies are the nutrients that I need. There's that pig. Is that creature still over there? I don't know what that was, and I don't know what that sound was. It sounded like probably a moose. I don't appreciate moose, though. This is actually going to go up. All of these, how long it's fresh for, is going to go up once I get a door on here. I mean a proper door. Oh, yeah. You're going up even more. 73 days, 62 days, 65 days. This is fantastic. Remember, a month in this game is only 12 days. So those are going to last me a long time. I'll probably eat them long before they go bad, which is the opposite of the problem I had with the meat. which still in my inventory. This is spoiled now. You can see it's sort of changed color a little bit. It looks kind of gross. It'll continue changing color. And it also says 18% spoiled. And it'll turn into rot eventually. The other thing I need is firewood. I cut down one tree. I'm gonna have to probably cut down at least a couple more. And did I get enough stick? Oh, I didn't get enough sticks for the pit kilns. I feel a little bit uncomfortable being out here in the dark. While I was editing, I realized you guys can actually see the screen much better than I can. And I might turn the gamma up, but then it would be kind of ultra bright. But the problem is, like I said earlier, I live in my car, and so I record in my car. I'm in the driver's seat of a vehicle in the middle of the daytime, so there's a lot of light shining on my screen, and that does make it a little bit more difficult for me to see at night. So if the gamma gets turned up, you know why. Okay, let's make. Why do I have this shovel in my inventory? Oh, because I accidentally made a shovel. Right. So this is not nearly enough firewood. I'm gonna need a lot more than this, so I'm probably gonna have to cut down like 2 or 3 more trees. It's okay, the sun is coming up now. Let me go put down this shovel that I don't need. Right next to the other one. Should I make some more food? I can make some more porridge with the grain. Grain is gonna last forever, even outside in this basket. So that's not a big deal. I guess let's see if the stew will go, or if the meat will go with. So that makes some meat stew. Let's make porridge. No, not really. I could maybe put berries in there if I do one. No. Okay. Well, this is what meal making is. I learned this from the handbook, by the way. You can press H at any time to pull up the handbook, and it'll show you different tutorials on different game mechanics. See, there's a crafting mechanic, brewing and distilling alcohol, game mechanic, rock strata. This will teach you a little bit of how the world generates. Cheese making. We can make cheese, mechanical power, weather. There's all kinds of stuff. Animal husbandry. We'll get into that later. Charcoal burning. This is what I'm trying to do right now. You know, it very simply just straightforwardly tells you what to do and how to do it. So yeah, with meal making, there's a whole bunch of like recipes in here, and this is how I learned how to make meals. I started with, the vegetable stews. Porridge is really easy. So for example, for porridge, it says first 2 slots must be grain. Additional options, 0 to 2 grain, 0 to 2 vegetables, 0 to 2 fruit, or 0 to 1 honey. I have no idea how I'm gonna get honey, but apparently that's a thing. There's also eggs. You can make soup if you have water, which requires buckets. Um, you can make a jam with fruit and honey. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but very simply put, first 2 slots are either meat, vegetables, or porridge, or grain rather. Bush meat doesn't work, by the way. Bush meat, it's got to be red meat or poultry, and you get bush meat from things like foxes. I don't think fish works either. Then you can make a hearty meat stew with more meat, or you can add vegetables to make it a vegetable meat stew. You can add eggs, beans, whatever. And it's a lot simpler than it seems. You really just put stuff in the pot and it'll tell you what it's gonna make. And if it can't make anything, it won't tell you anything. So, okay, let's go chop trees. I keep hearing wolves. I really, really don't want them to come over here. Oh, this is the corpse of that moose from earlier. That's right. I'm scared of that all night. Okay. Onions? Are the onions good? Onions done? No, onions aren't ready yet. There's some more spelt. And I still have some seeds in my inventory, so I can plant these seeds really quick over here. How many do I have? There's 3, 6. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with the immersive camera too is that sometimes I flub the buttons a little bit and I accidentally tab out. That's okay. I just need to press the buttons correctly. I'll be such a noob about it. Alright, so we've already got some flax and grains coming up to the second growth stage. And some onions, that's nice. But it's gonna be a long, long time before I harvest any of these. And I think animals can come along and eat them too, but they probably won't. There's not a whole lot of animals in this particular section. They're more off in the field. And the last time I played on this seed, no animals came around and ate my crops. There's a maple. I could try to get the same kind of tree every time, but whatever. There's a lot of different wood types in this game. A lot. I mean, already I've cut down a pine tree, a maple tree, I'm cutting down a walnut tree right now. You know, in real life, if there's walnut trees growing in an area, that generally means that it's not the greatest area for growing food and farming. Because walnut trees, especially black walnut trees, can leach toxins into the soil around them. And the actual black walnuts can be used to create a very, very potent black dye that will stick to anything. Like you could break open one of these black walnuts, the meat of the fruit that's actually around the nut, and it would dye your hands black. And they smell weird, and they're apparently toxic. You can't really eat them, even though they're walnuts. They're not the kind of walnut that you eat. So black walnut trees are kind of bad for the land in some senses. I'm sure there's stuff that can grow around them. They like cohabitate with. But they're bad for us. They're bad for us growing food. Oh man. Whoa! Okay, I didn't realize how massive this tree is. That's yeah, actually this is good. It's also kind of weird. You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes trees are just weird. Sometimes trees are just weird. Like, this doesn't come across to me as, like, a glitch in a game. This comes across to me as, like, this tree just grew weird. Okay, I need another knife. Man, trees barely give you any sticks in this game. You really gotta go chopping down bushes and stuff to get sticks. Good thing there's a whole bush biome near me. Oh, I mean, whoops. Let's actually make an axe this time. And I want to chop the rest of this. I do want to get this full tree down because that's a lot of wood. This is going to be more than enough. I might have to dig out my charcoal pit a little bigger with this. Wow! 2 axes. Gone. Jeez. See, I really want to chop it down because all of that stuff is stuck up there and I want it. Wow. The logs only stack in stacks of 16 too, which is kind of whatever. I guess we make another axe. See, this is the thing, like, chopping down trees in this game is a big task. A lot of things that are really simple in the other block game are actually, like, big tasks in this game. Like, chopping down a tree is not something you just do lightly. You have to, like, spend time with the tree and, you know, consciously make the decision on which tree you want. Because you want to, you want to chop down a big tree, but you don't want to chop down a tree that causes you to make 3 axes to get it done. Oh my god. And it's barely giving me sticks too. Wow, all of the leaves are gone by now. It gave me all the sticks. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's eat the berries, get rid of the berries. Get the berries out of here. This is so much. This is so much. Jeez, dude. All right, let's get rid of that spoiled meat too. Bye. I just want to pick this up and take it home. Am I okay with leaving that behind? I don't think I have room in my inventory anyway. Okay, well, those items will actually stay there for a pretty long time. I can probably come back sometime later and get them. I should really clear out some of this grass, and I guess I will be doing that because I'm going to be making the roof. But I really want to clear out some of the grass so that I can, like, see the animals coming. If there happens to be wolves nearby and they happen to wander close to me. It's like a moose I can handle, but wolves are another story. Wolves are a different story entirely. That was another whole axe. Okay, so let's put this firewood in my hotbar and plop it in the charcoal pit. Just fill it up all the way to the top. Let's go grab more. Yeah, all it takes is one big tree. And you are set, and also apparently like 5 axes. You know, if I crafted, like all of those axes to begin with, I need more flint. I'm almost out of flint. If I crafted all of those to begin with and just put them in my inventory, they would have been replaced as I chopped. All of the logs would have dropped at once instead of me having to make multiple axes in the middle of the process. So, there's another one. This might be enough. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Just barely not. Just barely not enough. Alright. One more axe for this project. One big walnut tree gives me all of this charcoal. And firewood. It's pretty good if you ask me. Pretty good deal. Alright. Now, that is all of the wood in the charcoal pit. The next thing we do is grab some dirt. Oop. And we cover all of these. Make sure that none of it is exposed except for just one. And I put it in the middle because I'm going to start a fire here. And let's make sure I'm ready with the torch. All right, got a fire in here now. Just light it and put a block on top. And it should start peacefully smoking, as the handbook says. And it looks like it is. Now the smoke is going to go to all of these blocks, and within a day, probably by the end of the day, it'll be done. It takes less time than these pit kilns do, that's for sure. In which, let me just go ahead and fill these as much as I can. Yeah, I'm gonna need more sticks. So hello?